of Silverboom, and of course for the side of Eanix, they are going to settle for that glaive and then banning out that Matisse.
Yeah, Silverboom going to be happy with picking up the Lyra, making sure Catherine is not available. They managed to pick Catherine in the last game, but it didn't quite work out, and I think that the Lyra pick we've seen every single game today, Lyra has been first picked. It's so important to just have Lyra as a pick, and that's a great ban. Get rid of Scarf, because you know Eanix love to play it. They're probably going to get Celeste anyway, but that's just pushing them onto their second favourite carry, not allowing the just absolute menace that they are on Scarf, not letting that through. And the first caster of the day is now likely to be possibly Crystal, because that glaive is either captain or weapon power. And so, unless they want to pick a Crystal carry last, that we could be seeing a Crystal Kestrel, which I would quite like to see.
Honestly, I prefer a Crystal Kestrel. But one more thing, they might just run double weapon.
That's true.
You know, yeah, double weapon. It's quite still doable at this point in time, especially since Glaive tend to build that tension bow very early on, and one of Castrol's mainstream build would be that of Sorrow Blade into tension bow, afterwards into Talon's Monica, if not in Tornado Trigger, and then into another tension bow. Bonesaw. So for the side of Silverboom, we will be seeing that Baron, and it is a good time for Eanix right now to just go for that double weapon power, to try to burst that of Baron down, unless they can put this glaive onto the roam roll and then pick out that Taka that I'm going to die. It's kind of famed for as well.
Yeah, that certainly would be a fantastic decision. Going Taka to dive into Baron, kiten over some of his damage, or the double shot, or even kiten the core collapse from Celeste. So that would work really well. Be able to pretty much delete whichever carry they choose. That does force Kestrel to be weapon, but that's not too much of a problem. They also could go for maybe an Arden, and then just have the glaive in jungle against Celeste, which will work fine. And then a lane Kestrel would be good against Baron. I think they shouldn't go lane glaive. We saw it didn't work against Baron because he could focus you so hard to stop you farming up. And they're deciding to go for the Black Feather. So again, we still don't know if this is what's weapon, what's crystal between Black Feather and Kestrel. It could be both weapon, as you said. Double weapon comps do work. Or I think it's most likely to be a Crystal Black Feather and a lane weapon power Kestrel. Although I would love to see Eanix change it up. We know Black Feather has been played before well by them.
Yep, definitely. But you know, even with the CP Black Feather, they do very well against that of Baron as well. And on top of that, with that Casual, if Casual do go on lane in the lane, then Casual will definitely just outpoke Baron in that of the early game, since you can farm from afar, and your glimmer shots in the early game, especially for the weapon Castro or even just the Crystal Castro itself, does a lot more damage than Jump Jet double shots coming out from Baron, of course, in that of the early game. And the Glaive being put on the captain role, I really like that, because your gank potential with this Glaive would just be insane. Granted, all the teams would know that you'll be babysitting in that lane with your carry, but even that, it is just that little bit of surprise element that Baron cannot quite run out of. If you do jump jets in to try to secure minions, or if not, just jump jets in to be very aggressive.
Yeah, I do agree. I think it'd be a good idea for Glaive to stay in lane, try and keep Baron at bay, make sure that he either gets ganked by a good afterburn into Black Feather being faint apart, diving in, or just to make sure Baron doesn't stop your lane and CSing too well, whoever it is, Black Feather or Kestrel. So I think that would be a good idea. And early game Kestrel really has to pressure Baron. If Kestrel just allows Baron to farm up, get those items, it's going to be really hard for Eanix to be able to win this in the late game, with Celeste and Baron being extremely strong.
Definitely, and on top of that as well, with that Lyra and the Bright Bulwark in the late game, if utilized well, can stop any advancement from Glaive, Casual, and even that of Black Feather. So that is something that the side of Eanix really had to put some thought through. So for this current draft, I must say I favor the draft coming up from Silverboom, only because of how strong they are in the late game, and seeing how they were playing Reese, in the previous matches, although they lost out to the side of Eanix. But at the end of it all, they kind of do have it at the end of the day. So as long as they can pull through the early into the mid game, not allow too much harassment coming out from the side of Team Eanix, the side of Silverboom definitely would have this game.
I want to disagree. I think Eanix actually have a strong draft because I think Eanix aren't going to let Silverboom get to late game. I think they're going to use the Black Feather, use the Glaive's Afterburns to just constantly either stop Celeste from farming up her jungle or gank Baron in the lane. So I think Eanix are going to have this game.
Yep, so it's 50-50 on the desk at this point in time. As we are about to jump into game, Mini, you agree that you think Eanix will just push the early game, but all the games so far, we do see that, Eanix not very, decisive in that early game, especially I agree you die on that cruel in that previous game.
That is true. We definitely saw Eanix like to ramp up to late game when they have their Scarf and they have heroes like that can play well in the late game. And we saw in both games, I think it was about 15 minutes in, there was no gold lead for either team. And in the second game, it was 10 minutes in, there was no gold lead for either team. So Eanix may be playing out of their preferred playstyle by trying to be aggressive early on. But I do think that it's going to be reasonably easy for them to do so if Blackfeather just tries to go on top of Celeste. Because if Celeste engages before you do, she's probably going to win the poke war. But if Blackfeather dives in first, Celeste is going to be in a lot of trouble, especially if he dodges her core collapse.
Yep, so we are 50-50 yet again in the draft, although I try to counterpoint you, Mini. But thank you for that analysis. And of course, talking about this game alongside me, Lakshara, we have the most amazing Asarai.
Yes, I am back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So this might be the last game of this best of 5, as Eanix have proven to time and time again outbest Silverboom. And to offset that to 50-50 from our analyst desk, for me, I kind of find Eanix's comp a little bit better because they do have that pick off in the early game, and it seems that that's going to happen right now as Pain Sunday is in a world of hurt. Does have that movement speed away, so he'll be able to skedaddle on away from there. And who gets the last shot on the Treant? It's going to be I Angry You Die.
Yep, very good invasion, or rather just a slight invasion coming up from I Angry You Die, understanding that he has got a stronger early game as compared to that Celeste, but so bad, very bad. May just want to come for this Treant at this point in time. Unfortunately, do not get it. And Glaive, Rubber Monkey on that Glaive, Rubber Monkey on that Glaive, wow. Will be rotating up to lane.
And it seems like there's going to be a 3v2 here, and now, there's going to be a little bit of a discrepancy right there as Trophies will try to back away, and Rubber Monkey on the is going to be able to survive as he does have enough range to get away from the bombardment, so to speak, from Silverboom.
Yeah, picking up 2 contracts on Rubber Monkey. First, it's that Dragon Blood contract for the extra slow when you do Afterburn in, and of course the extra crystal power that you get when you activate it, and of course the Iron Guard as well, just to help out with the sustain, especially since Trophies is a melee hero, has to be very close to the minions when he's trying to CS. And as Minimizer said, with that, Leiken can just take advantage of that closeness to minions and just poke out that of Trophies. All 3 of the side of Silverboom in the jungle to pick up this Elder Treant.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, Rubber Monkey will try to steal that Treant tonight, but it's not going to happen. Although they give enough room for Trophies to actually get a little bit of decent CS in the lane, as there is a lot of skirmishes happening in the jungle right now. With the fadeaway Glimmer Shot, will still survive with a very low amount of HP.
Yeah, Rubber Monkey did actually manage to get that Treant, if I'm not wrong. But then again, we do see though, so bad, very bad, constantly rotating up to lane, and not so much coming up from I Angry You Die, granted, and a lot of his play style recently, and of course in the previous 2 games as well, we did see he really wants to farm up, get his items, get his levels before he be dynamic as a jungler, and it's just allowing him and of course Trophies to farm up as well. And whereas for the side of Silverboom, we do see so bad, very bad, just constantly trying to put pressure in lane, and it's understandable why I Angry You Die. When I just say that, he comes up to lane, trying to take out lane.
And look at this damage coming in. Oh, Rubber Monkey hits it hard onto Pain Sunday and gets the first blood. But on the opposite side of the spectrum, it's going to be Leiken with a revenge kill. He did have the help from that turret, so he is pretty A-okay, but I Angry You Die. Look at that piercing through with the damage from the Glimmer Shots. and he shuts him down. And so bad, very bad, a little bit too late to the party, and he might actually get, well, you know, the party pooper, as he is very low. But there you go. Pain Sunday will be healing him back up.
And they are gonna chase after Angry Die on this Castro. Really, really dangerous position at this point in time. But Rubber Monkey is just there to help out and try to peel for Angry Die on that Castro. I'm not surprised though if Angry Die do actually want to settle for that Frostburn at first pickup. Oh, we do commonly see that Shatter Glass, but time and time again we do see that Frostburn Castro being very, very worthy as well as an item pickup or item build path because of the extra slow you get from your Glimmer shots, just aiding, you know, Black Feather in the chase, if not then in terms of damage as well. But you know, we do see, and Minimizer did say earlier on that as long as Eanix fight as a team, they would definitely win those team fights, whereas they do not want, or on the side of Eanix do not want to go in.
Yeah, do not want to go in, but for now it's gonna be all Eanix are going in with that dive, or rather that pick-off type of composition, in-your-face type of composition, Rubber Monkey to set it off, but it will not blow up anybody from the side of Silver Boom as they have that life.
Yep, they do indeed. And I was expecting a lot more engagement coming out from Rubber Monkey on that afterburn from Glaive, but I guess at the end of the day you can't quite do so, because if you do afterburn in punt Leikeng towards trophies, Leikeng can just jump jets away and it will be all for naught. So I do understand the position coming out from Eanix at this point in time, trying to just play passive, match the stats on Leikeng, but as I'm gonna say that, Rubber Monkey in the mustache bush of Silver Boom, maybe looking for Celeste right now, but we do see Angry Die on that Castro just roaming up into lane to try to secure this first turret. If not, then just put damage on it.
Yeah, you can see that there is gonna be, like you said, a 3-man rotation. Pain Sunday doesn't even know what hit him. He's gonna be able to escape, but his health is so low as well. It's so bad, very bad. He actually will go in with the response using that Solar Storm, but look at iAngry Die. He's going in from the side as well. This is not a good position right now for Silver Boom, as iAngry Die coming from silence has so much range on that Glimmer shot, and Trophies will be able to survive. Good connection with the afterburns onto Leikeng, and Leikeng does use the jump jets, does get the kite away rather from the side here on Silver Boom. And where is So Bad, Very Bad in a 1v1 against Angry Die? He gets taken down with the help from that Crystal Sentry. So it's actually a 2v1 right there happening. And Silver Boom able to get a little bit of an upper hand right here. And right now, So Bad, Very Bad chasing down onto Trophies that he'll be able to port away from the fight.
And yet again, we do see the same mistakes coming out from the side of Eanix, trying to go in for that 1v3, if not then 1v2. Like said, Crystal Sentry kind of hurts a lot, and you do not really want to go in to the jungle of Silver Boom at this point in time, especially since you do not have any form of vision in the Tri-Brush, if not then, you know, in the enemy's jungle itself. So quite a big mistake costing Angry Die's life there, but I'm sure if they do fight in 3, like we see in lane, all 3 members.
Oh, Pain Sunday. My goodness, that's the second time, and finally Eanix gets the shutdown, and from the looks of it, they're not stopping just yet there. Turret has taken quite a bit of a beating here from iAngry Die. He's pushing out Leikeng so that Leikeng won't be able to respond or keep this turret safe for the meantime. The wave is here, but Pain Sunday is coming back online. He's only level 5, so no passage just yet. So this could be a pretty good opener for Eanix, as there is no quote-unquote mobility skill coming out from Pain Sunday. Rubber Monkey will try to dive in, but he respects Silver Boom enough that he will back out immediately, and Silver Boom able to defend.
Yep, Silver Boom will be able to defend, but 1 shot 1 kill do come out yet again, so they're very bad.
Ooh, the damage. Here's the follow-up, and still surviving. Coming in, and Leikeng has been laid waste here by Eanix. It's gonna be the 2-for-2 trade though. Captains alive, Rubber Monkey and Pain Sunday are gonna be in a smash fight that I don't think anybody would actually be winning. So that's just gonna be a 2-for-2.
But I personally think Pain Sunday can win in that 1v1, especially since Pain Sunday is kind of topped up on that energy, and a lot of Imperial Sigil will be coming out if Pain Sunday do choose to go for that fight, but they are going to back off as all two members that, you know, have a visit to the graves, to their graves, are now back. So, you know, in that team fight alone, although we do see that it's kind of equal, they trade 2 for 2, but we must see also, and we must realize and not just deny the fact that, you know, Lei Kang on that Baron has got a lot of damage now that he has got the Sorrow Blade, Tension Bow, and in fact, at this point in time, has got an infusion in that pocket of his. Whereas for the side of Eanix, we do see Trophies just burning through half the infusion, and Iron View died looking for more.
They're gonna be starting it off. Iron View died though. Lei Kang, he should be called Play King, as So Bad Very Bad was also able to capitalize on that one. Second hero kill right now for Silver Boom, and Eanix are slowly but surely losing control into this game. Trophies will be trying to get that port back out to base, but he'll just clear out the way before heading back.
Yep, Iron Gyudai tried going in for the cheeky back door, I must say, but didn't quite make it in time. One shot, one kill, not able to secure that gold mine. Ooh, Trophies.
And he gets punished. But here is I Angry You Die. He'll be spotting out So Bad Very Bad. Rubber Monkey with initiation has that. Oh, wait. What? Rubber Monkey, he rode the passage downwards and... Okay, they get away.
He did get away indeed, and that was a rather good part, not so good part coming out from the side of Pain Sunday, or rather on Pain Sunday, but Rubber Monkey just ignoring all the existence of Silver Boom right now. Face checking, face front first, and this is what I'm talking about. Eanix just do not have traditional early aggression playstyle that we are seeing from the other teams, and that they just allowed, you know, Lei Kang to get this far. And in fact, with that team fight, just now Lei Kang did not even pop that infusion. You do see though Iron Gyudai going in with those glimmer shots, but not putting out as much damage as expected, especially since he's only sitting on one Shatter Glass and triple Crystal Pit.
Defensive usage on that Rose offensive from Trophy. Very bad, but the heals is just too much here from Pain Sunday. And wow, Silver Boom are going for the El Clasico death ball maneuvers on any game that I've seen. And it seems that, well, can Eanix, quote unquote, pierce through this with that on point from, rather, with just the Black Feather, or that glaive? That's going to be the question for the day, as Trophies has got out. Oh my goodness. That Rose defensive. There's the passage as well. Solar Storm will be absorbed by Rubber Monkey, and Silver Boom are going heavy at it. The damage, the crits going aggressive onto Eanix right here, and they have to respect, again, this poking death ball. That is Silver Boom.
Poking death ball. Pretty interesting term that you used there, but we do see Silver Boom in this game just kinda controlling the flow of it, picking up 2 early targets for themselves, and is 4k ahead in kills. We did say, or rather Minimizer did say, that Eanix really need to play into the early game when Baron is still weak, but that didn't quite happen, that didn't quite come through for the side of Eanix. You know, like I said, in the early game, Rubber Monkey was pretty much just chilling in that brush, not executing a lot of good team fights with that afterburn. Even this turret proving to be a tough one to take down.
And it's gonna be a bit of a pickle here for Eanix to find that special formula to get a kill. So bad, very bad, down to 40 HP. But that's not enough here for Eanix to capitalize on, because again, Pain Sunday can just heal it straight back up, and look at that. So bad, very bad, not even flinching. There's gonna be the aggressive users onto the passageway. Oh goodness, I Angry You Die, gotta back away. Rubber Monkey right here, using again that defensive afterburn just to push people back, and Trophies is gonna be in a very tricky spot. He has to be the one to deal the damage from backline. I Angry Die will be the one to follow as well. But Silver Boom, or like you said, starting to handle this game, are in the driver's seat.
Yep, they are manhandling the side of Eanix at this point in time, and it's kind of sad to see Angry Die getting rooted by that Treant. Quite sad not being able to take the Treant. Ooh, and
forcing it to V3 situation. And it's a kill here for Silver. They get 2 kills. My Angry Die not even close at all. Won't be able to give any support. Now 10-5 with the 4,000 gold lead. Silver Boom are looking to push this into a pretty fair game in this best of.
Yep, I agree with that. It took about 15 to 20 seconds trying to secure that mid-trian of his because he was rooted. And yet again, same mistakes coming out from Eanix going in for a 2v3. I mean, at the end of the day, you may think, or rather the side of Eanix may think that Silverboom is just a man alone, but looking at their rotation so far, they are constantly in trees, they are going in threes, and they are rotating in threes as well. Even in the early game, when Sobad very bad, just trying to protect that Baron of his, of Celestis at least, and just rotating up to lane, constantly just providing the amount of poke, or rather the constant poke and harassment in that early game. And Trophies really had got no answer because Angry Dai did not rotate as much, and when Angry Dai did, it was a tad too late. We do see a lot of vision coming out from the side of Super Boom as well, trying to just nerve and take this Castro down all in all, especially since when she's in stealth. And Castro, not really, you can't play a Crystal Castro like you do with a weapon Castro. You really need to come in from the backs, put down that active camo, and then try to land a 3-man stun.
Oh, Lakin though. Lakin could get caught out here. Where is that trap coming? Well, at all, oh, the damage! There's a Solar Storm as well, but they'll get 1-for-1 trade right here and right now. You can see though, the heals, the Celeste bombarding from downtown, and Trophies has to play a little bit of footsie footwork right here. Can he actually get it? Can he dive back in onto Sobad very bad, make it into a 2-for-2, and maybe even the 3-for-2? But it's not gonna happen, as there's just too much Silver Boom for Eanix to handle for this moment. That's gonna be the ace and the Kraken to capture as well.
Yep, that would be the ace, and very good play coming from Iron View Dai, just trying to bait, you know, Lei Kang into the trap, but just a tad too little damage. Lei Kang got stunned, but got blocked. He actually blocked that stun with that jump jet in. He got very low, but did manage to finish Iron View Dai with just one shot of that rocket launcher. So good play, but not very effective when it comes to this late game, especially since Lei Kang has got so much damage now.
You can see though that, oh, sneaky, my angry, the flares will push him out. He's got to respect Silver Boom right here, as they have already got the crack, got the damage. They actually have everything, all the tools necessary for pushing this best of 5 into a game 4. It's already, if I'm not mistaken, 2-0. If they can get that 2-1, it's going to be at least the possibility of the comebacks here for Silver Boom. But Eanix, if they can find that one good pickoff, they still might have a chance into this one, but not a lot.
Yep, I mean, with the amount of damage coming out from the side of Silver Boom, it will be surprising.
Oh, they're going in aggressive, and they're going aggressive as much as they can. Angry Dai right here into the sides, putting on a lot of hurt with that glimmer shot, but it's still not chipping. Look at how much HP Silver Boom still has left. There's gonna be the rotations coming in from Rubber Monkey. He's gonna go aggressive. There's the Solar Storm as well. One shot, one kill will still not get the shutdown onto anybody. Turret is destroyed, and this is still into a 3v3. Can they do it? That core is very low. Only Angry Dai will survive. Not all energy should be pushed into game 4. Silver Boom are still in this best of 5.
Silver Boom is indeed, and a lot of mistakes coming out from the side of Eanix, probably getting a little too complacent going up against Silver Boom. And, you know, honestly, Silver Boom just played very, very well in this third game of this best of 5. And, you know, like Minimizer did say though, and did mention that Eanix really need to play their early game, which they did not. It is just so out of their play style. But of course, talking more and breaking this game down as to why Silver Boom came out on top of this game 3, we have Minimizer.
Thank you for that, Luxuria, and Azurai for the casting. And I think, obviously, the main problem for Eanix was that they didn't pressure early game and they let Baron ramp up. But even then, it was still possible.